things. I guess it's 72 hours or less than that for a world. Sure, whatever. I don't think we're that lucky. Yeah. So I guess see the World War III energies. Because they keep bringing it up, and Civil War. So I guess Civil War is interesting. Well, the American Revolution, and as far as I know, even the founding fathers were you keep doing revolutions every now and then was a good thing. Civil War is a different story, though. Either way, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Just the world's trying to, I don't want to say blow itself up, but it's working towards like a reset. Some kind of conflict will occur for sure. Doesn't mean it's going to be Iran. Interesting about Iran, I feel like it's pullback. I mean, it might be threatening, but it doesn't mean they'll do something. But you never know. Doesn't mean it's going to be World War III, but whatever. They seem to be. The World War III energy is just that they're just. I guess there's just a lot of people are just tired of it, or just like chaos. Not that they'll ever accomplish it. The Syrian Orion conflict. That's what I picked up on that. So just that's especially with Iran and Israel. Israel has a lot of Orion energies, and Sirius has their own issues too. So either way, it's just, the Orions are. Not to go into race of people that incarnate here, but they can be easily established and run society. Let's put it that way. Some of the Palladians that are here just have like the perfect body, and they can eat anything and be fine. I might look. I'm not sure if they're always attractive, but whatever. Yes and no on that. Of course, they can also be dominating here too. As for their agendas and things like that. But World War III energy, I don't know. Eventually, I don't know. There might be some kind of conflict that they're working towards, just so they can finally lay this down and finally give up on it. They just keep pushing that energy button for some kind of reset. This is going to be a world reset, but it'll be a reset in some area of the world. Who knows where? Of course, I just had a movie about United States in the Civil War. They're trying to create that timeline. Doesn't mean they will. So, whatever. Just do what you gotta do. And chaos energy, the chaos of planet energy. What is? Explain a little bit from Astro. I'm not sure there's ever going to be a good explanation for it. It's just the souls here beings. Here are easily to manipulate, and then there's chaos beings here that are just causing all this trouble. Some of them are Orion, some of them are Sirius, some are different. Some of them are elf beings, even the Garthian beings don't care much for humanity. Yeah, they gotta test us. They gotta keep throwing everything they can at us while they can until we grow up. And from what I just saw a couple of, I'm not around kids like ever. I saw some that were at the coffee shop, and it's like they're just joking about stuff that was never that funny back when I was a kid. And it's almost like, I guess humanity really has not evolving at all. I think it's funny. It's like, you know what, when 10 years later, when you're a train wreck, it's not funny. It's not funny back then. It wasn't not funny now. And they just keep, not everybody's like that, but man, it's just a good part of the population is just not here to go anywhere. They just keep going in circles. It's incarnate and nothing. More power to you on that one. I guess it's their party that they can cry if they want to. Or can be as mediocre as they want to. There's a lot of that. I don't see the world going into World War III. I mean, Or as for the Iran conflict, it's just interesting because it's like it can't happen. It can't happen. I don't know. It feels like they're hesitant to do anything for obvious reasons. They might do something, but whatever. Just I don't know if Gaza is finally calmed down. I forgot if that's even still going on. Jeez, whatever. Right? It's a tired world. All right, 7 time to comment private sessions. The scheduler. Have a shop here. Maybe. All right, so. Okay, we're going to see the Syrian. See, I have Syrian Orion. I guess we're going to the Sirius energy for World War III, and then the Chaos energy going to the Orion collective. I haven't had the Orions in a long time. Yeah, just give their point of view. But think about beings that they can screw with us or having a blast. So might as well, right? So until humanity grows up from it, and the World War III trigger is just because that saying that phrase and putting the headlines on it, is there to trigger some kind of conflict? Doesn't mean it's going to be World War III, because I think we can't do it, and we're not allowed to get there. I mean, we could have, as society in general, started to decline everywhere, everything started collapsing. Like humanity just gives up, basically. Doesn't mean it'll be World War III, but yeah, just humanity. I mean, you see a lot of that in the U.S. But the world has to kind of just give up. Like all just starts to decay everywhere, and even then doesn't mean the end of the world's going to happen. So, please. Nice playing the guy here. Okay, going to Syrian energies about World War III and Iran and wherever it might be, and going to Orion. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greece, you with a Syrian collective. Well, to go into the chaos frequency, there are beings that are just chaotic. And some of them are in the spiritual community and getting away with it. They call it spiritual teachers that are just hijacking society. Might as well while they can, because they find I guess you can say on the karmic court level, they're like, oh, we can do it. It's like, well, they had an exploit there, and I just exploited it. And I saw that there's a vulnerability, and I took advantage of it. So why should I be the one getting all the negative heat for it? So to give you some point of view of that. As for Iran frequencies, it is a cat and mouse. There is itchy trigger fingers, basically those of great power want to abuse it, but not caring about it's just basically you're almost like you're captain of your football teams on two different sides, just want to destroy each other. But they're going to take everybody down along with it, which is going to build all kinds of karma for them. Like you can barely get out you'll never be able to free yourself from that. If it went to the World War III frequency, it's still not good. But there is a free will frequency there, but also there is a bit of a common sense at the same time. It's like, do you really want to do this? So it doesn't mean it's going to be World War III, just a war in general. Iran is hesitant because they know are they going to be able to walk out of this one, alive? That's another story, and it's not looking so good. And yes, and also citizens that might get injured during this. Is it worth it? So it is, but they don't want to also feel like they're weak either. But Iran is in a corner due to the corruption of other governments. It's like bullies fighting bullies, basically. Not to say Iran doesn't have good intention, good energy. It does. It's when you keep pushing someone over, like you keep bullying them, they start to fight back and they become maybe corrupt at the same time because they have no choice. And it's just not a, yeah, it's just like, it was never easy in Iran. Well, because they want to have established, it goes back to thousands of years. There is some Anunnaki there. It's not entire. Orion beings want to dominate society. Orions, I'll just say with their race, but just basically they want to be able to push a button or get people to follow their. It's kind of a dictatorship, but a dictatorship that you don't always see. Without going into details, but it's like a dictatorship where it's like you have a leader of the world, but nobody knows it's the leader. And there is a lot of influence. It's just some of these groups really just want to have an influence over society. A power grab, whatever it is, they just can't let go. Arrogance. But realize also the universe, spirit world sees it all. It's like, yeah, he might come off with positive intentions, but are they really positive intentions? You might just be saying that to lie yourself or whatever it might be, but corruption here is very powerful. It's not in humanity here, the souls that incarnate here, now those that have learned from all of this have learned, not to say they've learned how to, look, you hear about beings being reincarnated over and over again. Well, they get pulled back in here because they didn't learn their lesson. School pulled them back. That's why. Mm-hmm. And for those of you that have incarnated here or know others or whatever it might be, yeah, they learn to step away from this world and not be manipulated anymore. But then they still want to assist it in some ways, but society's not listening to them because they just don't know how to. It's too much work, or they just don't want this to happen, or they take the information, they connect to astrally, and they just manipulate society even further. So it's kind of like you have the angel on one side and devil on the other. It's kind of like that for those that are controlling your reality or influencing your reality. It can only last so long, though. So what you're seeing, it hasn't. Basically, you're going to come to more of a time when humanity is more of a peacetime, but not yet. Battle of the egos. There are generations of your human here. This is the thing, though. Then you have, leaders coming in your society. They're just so lazy. Not fully lazy, but a laziness where they're not even. You imagine if you have like a public speaker, public figure that doesn't want to be in the public, that's hiding all the time. So you might not have the conflict of war, but you have the conflict of society continuing to decay. So it's like, either have one or the other. You can't come in the middle, but reality's not ready for that. Some of you are in the middle right now. You don't want to be too lazy, but you don't want to, World War III scenario. You're willing to connect with others and not hide. But you'd be surprised how many humans here, society is hiding actually from themselves, from so much. Did they ask themselves that question? If they even want to know, are they hiding from themselves in society? Are they so busy? No, disliking yourself in the early, in the younger years is normal because that's not necessarily a bad thing either, because you fix yourself to where you are likable for yourself, not necessarily for everyone else. So, Grace uses Orion. The chaos real. Well, this world has a lot of Martian frequency, chaotic. The Martian energies are a experimental frequency, and it's to understand the underworld, to truly open it up and have a party there, drinks on the house, just drink their liquor. The Lord, yes, drink the hell realms liquor, indulge with too much food. It's like living the life of a king or queen, but letting society eat itself alive. So that's what's currently happening. Not in all places of the world, but definitely in the US, there's a lot of that. So there is a power energy within modern society in the US, basically, is you're removing, maybe not now, well, slowly removing old culture habits, especially consuming too much food and just alcoholism is a tough one to break free because it's spell frequency, and they put alcohol into a social environment, which downgrades the human even more, put you kind of in a prison state. Not everyone, but there's a lot of that happening. So, and why some of you, yes, some of you wonder, why am I here? Why did I come here? Why are you bringing your knowledge, your wisdom here to not do those things? You put the frequency out there. Yes, it can be very tiring too. It's like humanity, just get it together. Sober up. You do that on an astral level, and sometimes you wonder why you get astral attacks and why you're so worn out in the morning. That doesn't mean you're always doing that. Doesn't mean you're preaching to the choir. It's like, if you want to win this war, you have to kind of get your act together. And many are not ready for it, as you can see. You'd be surprised how many humans incarnate and really actually deliberately downgrade themselves before they incarnate. So they become almost not animalistic, but almost like ape-like to some level. Like without, yeah, even astral realms and the higher dimensions, beings are just not always. They sometimes go for the easy route. Because it takes a lot of maturity to connect actually to your higher power, which many are not quite ready for. So it's always going to be students, kids frequency here. It's just those that just don't. They want it the easy way, but then when they get it the easy way, their minds are weaponized and they cause all kinds of difficulties, like a World War III frequency. And World War III is just, unfortunately, there are beings that truly want to push that agenda, no matter what occurs. Then they can, even if they wipe themselves out, it's like they want to take credit for it. So it's going to be here for a while until humanity calms down this conflict, willing to look into itself globally. And that's a hard one. So they can go old habits. And then society will change. Like your fast food industries might even disappear or just mature themselves, become more healthy, elevated, but they're not quite there at this time. And there's nothing fast about fast food. It's actually slow down, but it's fast consuming, but it does slow ones down. But either way, it is an energy exchange, so it's all on how you use it. But the chaos frequency here, this world is just, daring, brave, depending, to just understand the hell realms. Yeah, if you go to a bar, it's like, is this bar connected to the underworld? Probably. And they make great drinks. And sometimes even great conversation. Because like a bar is like a portal. Just where they serve liquor. It's all portal. Even the drinks are portals. They open up portals within yourself. Usually not good ones. Try telling society that. It was, oh, you're just not being fun. Oh, it's called... Just wants you to protect your soul, your frequency, and not let it be controlled by others. But so many here want to be controlled by others because they don't want to take responsibility, so they don't even know how. So, and as for the younger generations that are, it's kind of like just going backwards. Well, also they like to, like they might be, in your modern world, going back into the 60s or 70s or 80s or wherever to, they want to experience some of those things too. Even if it's a horrible joke, it doesn't mean they want to go into the whole ruin their life situation. Some do go through that in the modern world and see if anyone will help them. But sometimes they want to just see what other people went through too. That's another reason why things don't change that fast. It's just like, just like you see television, it's like, hey, I want to be like that person. Well, in astral, they want to be like some of you. And to do that, it's like, I want to go through all that hell too. And then they don't survive it. As for removing alcoholism onto this, that's going to be a tough one. See, humanity's not ready for that. It's kind of used as an escape. But there will be a time when it becomes more or less alcoholic, less food consumption. And that's going to be higher frequency. Basically, it has to make itself, humanity has to, on a global level, make some peace with itself globally. Doesn't mean it has to like everybody, but just some kind of more peace. Obviously, a conflict in the Middle East is like it's the battle of the egos. Who wants to control the world? So,